The practice we are going to do together today is an exercise from ACT or ACT, which stands for Acceptance and Commitment Therapy. Acceptance and commitment therapy can help teach us to sit with uncomfortable feelings, letting them be guests in our mind without letting those emotions take over. In today's practice, we're going to do a mindfulness exercise that'll help us practice our mindfulness, observe, and describe skills, as well as learn to be more comfortable sitting with our thoughts and our emotions. For today's practice, I invite you to find a comfortable position, whether that's seated, on a chair, on the floor, laying down. Maybe you want to do this exercise while you're taking a walk. Whatever your body's needing, go ahead and take a couple moments to settle into a comfortable position. You might gently push your feet onto the floor, getting a sense of the ground beneath you. You might bring your attention to the back, letting your shoulders drop, letting any tension melt away. Notice the sense of gravity flowing down your spine, anchoring you to the ground, to the floor, the earth beneath your feet. And just take a moment to notice what you can see, and notice what you can hear. And notice how you are sitting, laying, or standing. Noticing what you're doing with your hands. Noticing sensations in the nose and the mouth. Noticing what you're feeling in your body. And noticing what you're thinking right now. Taking a moment to recognize there's a part of you in there that is able to notice or be aware of everything that you do. Everything that you see, hear, touch, taste, smell, think, and feel. To keep things simple, let's call this part of you awareness. And I invite you now to close your eyes if that feels safe, or maybe soften your gaze, which can look like focusing on no one thing in particular, letting your vision slightly unfocus, whichever you prefer. And now, bring your awareness to your breathing. And for the next few breaths, I'd like you to completely empty your lungs, to push all the air out of them until there's no more left, and then allow them to fill by themselves. And as you do that, I'd like you to observe your breathing as if you're a curious scientist who has never encountered breathing before. Notice how once the lungs are empty, they refill all by themselves. You can take a deep breath in if you want to, but see if you can notice how there's really no need. It just happens by itself. Notice your breath flowing in and out. Notice your chest moving in and moving out. Notice your abdomen rising and falling. And now turn your attention to reflect on what brought you to this practice today. There's something that matters to you, something that is important deep in your heart that motivated you to come to this practice. Getting curious about what that thing is, if it's improving your life, personal growth, learning new skills, building better relationships, learning how to look after yourself, how to treat yourself well, or to regain something you've lost. Just searching inside your heart to clarify what brought you to this practice today. And now taking a moment to reflect on how you got here today. You didn't magically find this practice out of thin air. You had to take action, had to make the time, had to decide to pull up this video and hit play. You had to make time for this practice amongst all the other important things you have to do. And recognize that right now in this moment, you are also taking action. You're sitting here in a chair or laying on the floor or taking a walk, doing this exercise, not knowing exactly what it involves. You might have all sorts of thoughts running through your mind, all sorts of feelings passing through your body, and yet here you are, in this moment, right here, right now, doing this practice. Acknowledging in this moment what matters enough to you to bring you here today, to take this action right here, right now, when there are so many other things you could be doing instead. And now, once again, I'd like you to bring your awareness to your breathing and observe it as if you're a curious scientist who has never encountered breathing before. Noticing your breath flowing in and out. Noticing your chest moving in and moving out. Noticing your abdomen rising and falling. And in this moment, I invite you to challenge yourself for the next few minutes to keep your attention on the breath, observing it as it flows in and out. This may be challenging because your mind will try to distract you just as minds do. It might tell you all sorts of stories to try and grab your attention and pull you away from what you're doing. I invite you to see if you can let those thoughts come and go like passing cars and return your attention to your breath. Let your mind chatter away as if it's a radio playing in the background, and keep your attention on the breath. Noticing your breath flowing in and out. Noticing the belly rising and falling. From time to time, your mind will succeed in distracting you, as minds often do. It'll manage to get you interested in one of its stories, and you'll lose track of your breathing. This is quite normal. It happens to everyone, and it will happen probably more than once. The moment you notice that this has happened, take a second to acknowledge it, note what distracted you, and then gently refocus on your breathing. Just noticing the breath. Letting your thoughts come and go like clouds drifting across the sky. Again and again, your mind will succeed in distracting you. This is normal. It's what minds do. As soon as you realize it, note the distraction and gently refocus on your breath. As this exercise continues, the feelings and sensations in your body will change. There may be pleasant feelings and sensations showing up, like relaxation, calm, peacefulness, and there may be unpleasant ones, like boredom, frustration, anxiety, or aches in the body. See if you can allow those feelings to be exactly as they are in this moment. Don't try to control your feelings. Remember in this moment that your only job is to acknowledge them and let them be, whether they're pleasant or unpleasant. Reminding yourself all you need to do in this moment is acknowledge distractions and return your attention to the breath. Reminding yourself that this practice is not a relaxation technique. The goal isn't necessarily to relax. The goal is to let yourself feel whatever you're feeling without struggle. So if there is an unpleasant feeling, silently name it, saying to yourself, here's a feeling of boredom, or here's a feeling of anxiety, acknowledging that it's there, and returning the attention to the breath. Again and again, bringing your awareness back to the anchor of your breath. And I invite you now to expand your awareness, to continue to notice the breath, but also the feeling of your body, of your arms, legs, head, neck, chest, stomach. And I invite you now to expand that awareness even further, noticing your breathing and your body and all the sounds around you. As it feels safe to do so, gently opening the eyes if they were closed, or refocusing your gaze, and looking around your environment and noticing what you can see. And expanding your awareness even further, noticing also what you can feel, and also what you can taste or sense in the nose and in the mouth. Maybe taking a moment to stretch the body, maybe flexing the fingers or the toes, and noticing yourself stretching. Noticing what you're thinking right now. Noticing whatever your mind is saying to you about this experience. Taking a moment to acknowledge that there is a part of you that notices everything you do, everything you see, hear, touch, taste, smell, think, and feel. Checking in for a moment, this part of you that can notice your thoughts, notice your feelings, notice your body, this awareness. Reflecting on if it's good, bad, or just there. And in this moment, returning the attention to the breath, taking 3 rounds of inhale and exhale. Inhaling, exhaling. 2 more times. Inhaling and exhaling. 1 last time. Inhaling and exhaling. Letting the breath return to its natural rhythm. As we come to a conclusion of this exercise, taking a moment to stretch the body in any way that feels good to you. Maybe stretching out the arms, the legs, releasing the tension in your shoulders. And when you're ready, shifting your attention back to the present moment, back to the feeling of your body and the world around you. And that concludes our practice for today. As you finish this practice and shift to the rest of your day, I encourage you to check in with what your mind and body is needing and take some time today to care for yourself, to acknowledge that you showed up for this practice, that you showed up for yourself, and sitting with that feeling of kindness and compassion for yourself.